Have you ever looked around your home and whispered to yourself, I barely use this space, yet it's always messy? It's a quiet kind of exhaustion, isn't it? When the dishes pile up, the dust returns, and you wonder where all your energy has gone. This video isn't about turning your home into a showroom. It's about gentle shortcuts, simple habits that let you stay tidy without wearing yourself out. Because at this stage in life, we don't want perfection. We want peace. We want ease, and most of all, we want a space that feels like it's on our side. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 15 cleaning tricks made especially for women like you, living alone, valuing their energy, and choosing softness over struggle. I remember visiting Aunt May last spring. She's 72, lives alone in a cozy little cottage where the floors creak just enough to feel nostalgic. When I walked in, the kitchen counters were clear. A single candle flickered near the sink, and the air smelled faintly of lavender and lemons. Nothing was fancy, but it felt lovingly kept. She smiled and said, "Honey, I don't clean to impress. I clean so the house can love me back." That line stayed with me, because when you live alone, you don't clean to be seen. You clean to feel lighter, to reclaim small pockets of calm. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So, if you're ready for simple steps that feel like a soft exhale, let's begin gently. 1. Entryway catch-all basket. Contain mess at the door. There's something about the doorway that sets the tone for the whole home. It's where life trickles in. Keys, mail, receipts, half-read notes, even that coupon you meant to use last month. And if we're not careful, it becomes a silent pile of overwhelm. Years ago, my neighbor Ruth taught me a simple trick. She had a deep woven basket right by her front door. "Everything goes in here first," she told me, dropping in her scarf, gloves, and a wrinkled grocery list. "If it's in my hands, it lands in this basket. I sort it later, when my feet are up and my tea is steeping." That one habit changed everything for her. No more scattered clutter greeting her at the door. No more bending down to pick up runaway receipts. Just one simple container, a gentle boundary between the outside world and her peaceful space. A catch-all basket isn't just about tidiness. It's about respecting your energy. When you live alone, every small convenience matters. Having a designated spot right at the entryway means fewer trips across the house and less mental clutter chasing you from room to room. We don't tidy up to make the house look better. We do it so we don't lose ourselves in the mess. Let's ease into the next shortcut, something that keeps your bathroom feeling fresh without lifting a finger. Number 2. Pre-soaked wipes container, ready to go cleaning. You know those moments when the sink has a little splash, or the table has crumbs and you think, I'll get to it later. But later never quite comes? That's not laziness. It's fatigue. Or maybe just the weight of everything else on your plate. That's why I swear by a simple, almost silly thing, a container of pre-soaked wipes. Right there on the bathroom counter, another under the kitchen sink. No sprays to find, no rags to wet. You just reach, swipe, toss, done. My friend Edith, who has arthritis in her fingers, says it best. If I don't have to open a bottle or twist a cap, I'm more likely to do it right then. And she's right. These little wipes remove friction, literal and emotional. They make you feel like you're still in control of your space, even on the days when your joints feel stiff or your spirit just wants to sit quietly. It's not about being spotless. It's about making cleaning feel kind. We don't clean because we love chores. We do it because we love how a clean space makes us feel. Now, imagine the same ease, but with the air around you. Let's talk about a shortcut that refreshes your space with just one spritz. 3. No bend dusting wand. Reach high, stay low. There was a time I used to climb up on a chair just to reach that stubborn corner of the bookshelf. But one slip a few years ago taught me a lesson I won't forget. Since then, I've learned that the smarter way to clean is not by stretching higher, but by starting lower and staying safe. That's where my no-bend dusting wand comes in. It's extendable, feather-light, and most importantly, gentle on the arms, shoulders, and balance. I can dust above the curtain rod, the ceiling fan, and even behind furniture without ever crouching or tiptoeing. My neighbor Joan, who's 72 and had a hip replacement, swears by hers. It's not just a wand, she says. It's dignity in disguise. I get to care for my space without asking for help or risking a fall. You see, cleaning isn't about chasing perfection. It's about creating comfort without punishing your body. We don't clean to impress. We clean to feel safe, steady, and proud in our little corner of the world. And speaking of safety, let's move to something that clears grime without scrubbing and gives your hands and knees the rest they've earned. 4. Sock on hand trick. Dust while you walk. I'll tell you a little secret I picked up from my Aunt Ruth, who lived alone well into her 90s. She never called herself a housekeeper, but her home always felt peaceful, warm, and dust-free. Her trick? A clean old sock pulled over her hand, like a little mitten of wisdom. She'd slip it on before taking her walk through the house, maybe to check the mail, feed the cat, or answer the phone. And as she moved, she'd gently swipe surfaces. The banister, the lamp base, even the side of the fridge. No pressure, no fuss. Just a soft, quiet way to keep things cared for. It's brilliant because it turns movement into maintenance. You don't need to schedule dusting day or haul out sprays. You just live and let care follow behind your fingertips. And when arthritis is acting up, or the energy just isn't there, this little sock trick gives you a sense of control without strain. Cleaning isn't about doing more. It's about letting small gestures add up to peace. Now, let's talk about something just as effortless, but with a little scent of calm built right in. 5. Chair cleaning caddy. Supplies within arm's reach. There's something quietly frustrating about finally sitting down, only to realize the cleaner or cloth you need is across the room. It's not just inconvenience. It's a reminder that your body can't leap up like it used to. That's why my neighbor June, who lives alone, keeps a small plastic caddy tucked right beside her favorite chair. Nothing fancy, just a few microfiber cloths, an all-purpose spray, maybe a lint roller or a duster pen, all within arm's reach. She told me once, "I don't need to clean the whole house. I just clean what I can see from here." That stuck with me. While watching TV, she might wipe the coffee table. Waiting for her tea to steep, she'll dust the windowsill. It's not about speed, it's about softness, about honoring the rhythm of her day without pushing past her body's limits. For many of us, energy comes in pockets. If your cleaning tools are too far, that pocket slips away. But when they're close, you can act in the moment, gently, without turning care into a chore. We don't tidy to impress. We tidy to feel less burdened in our own quiet space. And speaking of ease, let's look at something simple that adds a burst of freshness with just one squeeze. 6. 10-minute morning reset. Start clean. Stay calm. Have you ever noticed how the state of your kitchen table can set the tone for your whole day? A clean space feels like a soft welcome. A cluttered one? It can whisper overwhelm before you even have your coffee. That's why I started doing a little 10-minute reset each morning. Nothing fancy, just a wipe of the counters, fluffing the pillows, putting the remote back where it belongs. I even light a gentle candle sometimes. It's not about deep cleaning. It's about starting the day feeling in control, even if everything else feels uncertain. My friend Eleanor, who's 74 and lives on her own, once told me, "If I leave the house messy in the morning, I carry that weight with me all day." She was right. That quiet 10-minute ritual is a gift to your future self, like saying, "I've got your back, dear." We don't reset to erase the past. We reset to greet the day with peace. And once your morning has opened with calm, it becomes easier to keep the rest of the day flowing gently too. Next up, a clever way to freshen your air without ever leaving your chair. 7. One-room rule. Focus on less, achieve more. There were days I used to walk from room to room, feeling like the house was closing in on me. A pile here, a dusty shelf there, and before long, I'd feel defeated before I even began. Until I discovered a little secret, the one-room rule. It's simple, really. You pick one room, just one, and that's where your focus goes. Maybe it's the bedroom today. Tomorrow, the bathroom. You give it 20 minutes, maybe less. And when it's done, you walk away. No guilt about the others, no pressure to finish it all. My neighbor Judy, 67, swears by it. She told me, "When I finish even just one room, I feel like I've done something kind for myself, and that kindness lingers all day." We're not racing, we're tending. We're creating pockets of peace, one gentle room at a time. A clean home doesn't happen all at once. It blooms, room by room, breath by breath. And speaking of breath, let's take one. Because the next trick is about making your space smell like serenity with almost no effort at all. Chapter 8. Soft Slippers Mop. Clean while you walk. You know, sometimes it's not the big chores that wear us down. It's the tiny ones. The crumbs on the floor, the dust under the table, the faint stickiness near the sink. But bending, reaching, scrubbing? That's a lot to ask on a day when your knees ache or your back's had enough. That's where soft slippers with mop soles come in. Yes, slippers. Imagine gliding around your home, just doing your morning stretches or heading to the kitchen, and every step you take is quietly sweeping the floor. It sounds silly until you try it and realize that keeping your floors clean doesn't have to mean dragging out the broom or pushing a heavy mop. You're cleaning by simply being present in your space. My friend Mabel calls hers her Zen shoes. She slips them on with her robe and hums her way to the kettle, and by the time her tea is ready, her floors have gotten a gentle polish too. Sometimes, the softest steps leave the cleanest path. Now, if your home already feels lighter just thinking about that, wait until you see what happens when we give our sinks the same gentle grace. 9. Fold later basket. Delay without mess. Let's be honest, there are days when just doing the laundry is already a win, but folding it all right after? That's where the energy runs out. You know the feeling. You pull clothes warm from the dryer, place them on the bed to fold, and then you don't. Suddenly, the room looks cluttered, and that small undone task whispers at you every time you pass. That's why the fold later basket can be such a quiet blessing. It's not just a basket, it's permission. Permission to pause, to breathe, to say, "I'll get to it when I feel better." Having one designated, soft-sided basket that lives by the sofa or near your bed allows you to contain the chaos without judgment. No scattered shirts, no lost socks, just one tidy waiting place. My neighbor Jean, who lives alone, calls hers the gentle corner. She says, "When I have energy, I fold. When I don't, I just smile and let it wait for me." A peaceful home doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means the imperfect things know where to rest. And speaking of rest, the next trick turns your sink into a sanctuary, not a source of stress. Let's take a look. 10. Sink spray rinse. Clean sink after each use. There's something oddly comforting about a clean kitchen sink. It doesn't shout for attention, but it whispers peace. And yet, for many of us, the sink slowly becomes the one place we dread looking at by day's end. Food bits, coffee stains, little puddles that somehow appear even when no one's watching. It builds up. But what if one small habit, barely lasting 10 seconds, could keep your sink fresh every single day? Here's the trick. Keep a gentle, ready-to-use spray bottle by the sink. Something with a bit of white vinegar, water, and maybe a drop of lemon or lavender essential oil. Every time you rinse a cup or finish the dishes, give the sink a quick spray, then rinse. That's it. No scrubbing, no effort, just consistency. That little mist acts like a reset button for your kitchen and for your mood. My friend Dolores, who's lived alone since her husband passed, told me, "I can't always clean the whole kitchen, but when I see my sink sparkling, it feels like I still have control of my space." We don't tidy the sink because it's dirty. We do it because it gives our spirit something clean to stand beside. And just like that, with barely any effort, your evening feels lighter. Ready for a tip that brings just as much comfort to your body as your space? Let's move to a favorite many seniors quietly swear by. 11. 1 drawer declutter. Small wins, big impact. You don't have to conquer the whole house to feel accomplished. Sometimes, all it takes is one drawer. One small space that says, "You did something today." And when life feels overwhelming, when your knees ache or your heart feels heavy, that one drawer can feel like a mountain moved. I remember watching my neighbor Ethel one afternoon. She didn't try to sort her entire kitchen. Instead, she picked the junk drawer, the one we all have. Within 15 quiet minutes, she tossed out broken pens, folded expired coupons, and lined it with fresh paper. She didn't break a sweat. But by the end, she smiled at that tiny drawer like it was a personal triumph. And it was. Because small wins matter, especially when you live alone and need to be your own cheerleader. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. So if the thought of tidying your home feels too big today, just open one drawer. Start there. And when you're ready, we'll move on to another shortcut that makes the rest feel just as light. Let's keep going. 12. Recycle station with wheels. Take out trash easily. Taking out the trash, something that once took a few seconds, can start to feel like a full workout when our bodies don't move the way they used to. Lifting a heavy bag, balancing it down the steps, and making sure nothing leaks along the way, it's enough to make you leave it for tomorrow, again and again. But a simple solution, like a recycle station on wheels, can change all that. I first saw one in my sister Marie's home. She'd been having shoulder trouble and dreaded the trash chore. So her daughter gifted her a 3-bin rolling cart, one for trash, one for plastics, one for paper. Now, Marie just rolls it to the door and empties it in stages. No heavy lifting, no awkward balancing. Just glide and go. It's not just about ease. It's about reclaiming peace in your routine. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. Every step saved is energy gained, and every bit of energy we protect is a gift to our future self. Ready for another gentle trick that respects your body and your rhythm? Let's move on. 13. Night prep habit. Clear counters before bed. There's something quietly powerful about walking into a calm kitchen in the morning. No clutter, no dishes, just the soft light of the day beginning, with space to breathe. But getting there doesn't require scrubbing or scouring. It starts with a gentle ritual the night before. Clearing the counters isn't about perfection. It's about permission. To rest, to let go, to know tomorrow is starting just a little lighter. I began this habit after a hard winter. My joints ached more and my sleep was restless. One night, Instead of watching another hour of TV, I wiped the counter, put away the mugs, and set out my teacup. It took 5 minutes. But the next morning, my kitchen greeted me with peace, and my shoulders stayed low. This became my small way of saying, tomorrow, I'm ready for you. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. It's not about being spotless. It's about being soft with ourselves. And once you make peace with the night, the morning takes care of itself. Now, let's look at another habit that works with your rhythm, not against it. 14. 2-minute sink rule. If it takes less than 2. You know that moment when you finish your tea, place the cup in the sink and think, I'll get to it later. But later turns into 5 more dishes. And suddenly, the kitchen feels heavier than it should. That's where the 2-minute sink rule comes in. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. Right then. No fuss. It sounds simple, and it is, but this tiny habit has a quiet magic. 1 dish washed now keeps 5 from piling up. A quick wipe stops the crust from settling. I started it on accident. One morning, still in my robe, I rinsed my cereal bowl instead of leaving it, and I felt accomplished. Imagine that, a sense of peace, from a spoon and a sponge. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. It's not about hustle or perfection. It's about gentleness in motion. One tiny act that honors your future self. And when done often enough, it becomes part of your rhythm, like brushing your hair or turning off the lamp. Coming up next, let's look at a final shortcut that helps you end the day with space in both your home and your heart. 15. Memory basket. Hold only what brings comfort. There's a quiet kind of clutter we rarely talk about. The kind tucked inside drawers, boxes, or shelves, filled with memories that ache more than they comfort. I call it emotional dust, and over time, we collect too much of it. That's why I started keeping a small memory basket, not for everything, just for the pieces that truly warm the heart. A photo of my late husband smiling in the garden, the lace handkerchief from my mother's drawer, a letter from my granddaughter written in big, lopsided letters, just enough to make me pause and smile, not cry or feel burdened. The secret isn't having less. It's keeping only what still speaks kindly to your spirit. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. So if a memory weighs too heavily, gently thank it and let it go. And if it still brings light, let it live in your basket. Up next, let's close our time together with a soft reflection on what it means to let your home care for you. Let gentle effort be enough. Somewhere along the way, many of us were taught that a clean house had to come with sore knees, aching backs, and a long list of shoulds. But the truth is, clean doesn't have to mean exhausting, especially now when your energy is precious and your peace even more so. What we've talked about today isn't really about mops or baskets or spray bottles. It's about shifting how we care for our home and how we allow our home to care for us in return. It's about honoring this chapter of life, not by pushing harder, but by choosing softer. A 10-minute tidy, a sock on your hand, a basket that holds your peace. These aren't shortcuts in the lazy sense. They're wisdom in motion. They're the tools of someone who has learned what matters and what no longer does. Because at this stage, gentle effort is not less, it is enough. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. So today, let go of guilt. Let go of trying to keep up with how you used to clean. Instead, build new rhythms, ones that fit the body you have and the life you deserve. And if this video sparked a bit of calm or reminded you that you're not alone in your tired days, leave a comment. Share your own little shortcut, or just tell me one thing in your home that brings you quiet joy. Because when we share, we don't just clean, we connect. And that's what truly makes a home feel whole.